The major turning points in world history.
The agricultural revolution.
The scientific revolution.
The industrial revolution.
What is the significance of these revolutions?
How did these revolutions impact our development as a species?
What are the lasting effects that we still see today?
The agricultural revolution created a new standard of living that was most effective in promoting the growth of our species.
The scientific revolution changed our perception of how we viewed the world around us.
And the industrial revolution made mankind more efficient, which in turn spurred economic growth around the world.
However, these are just the basics. To fully understand the impact of each revolution, we need to go more in depth.
The agricultural revolution, which occurred at about 10,000 BCE.
Since the start of the Paleolithic Age, about 2.5 million years ago, humans have been hunters and gatherers, living a nomadic lifestyle, constantly on the move in search of their next meal. It wasn't until about 10,000 BCE that humans first began to form permanent settlements. The first sightings of agriculture occurred in Mesopotamia, where water from the Tigris and the Euphrates and the rich soil of the Fertile Crescent provided a great location for humans to develop this practice. During the Paleolithic Age, humans traveled in small packs because food was unpredictable and often scarce. However, with the emergence of agriculture, new steady food supplies were created to support the growing population of humans. Along with the adoption of agriculture came the domestication of animals. Humans first used sheep, cattle, and pigs for labor and food supply in Mesopotamia around 9000 BCE. So what is the big deal? What problems did this revolution solve, and how did it affect our development as a species? The agricultural revolution is considered a turning point because of the shift from hunters and gatherers to the practice of agriculture. This is an extremely significant instance in history because this is the first time mankind took a stride to further advance itself past other species. A new steady food supply not only led to the growth of our populations, but most importantly, it paved the path towards civilization, the basic structure and order that holds together our societies. It is hard enough to imagine us thriving in an uncivilized world today, and it is nearly impossible to suspect that humans would have developed this far in history without the role of the agricultural revolution. The scientific revolution. From about 1550 CE to 1700 CE. The Catholic Church was the dominant authority of Western Europe during this time. It based its teachings and scientific principles off the Holy Bible and discouraged ideas that rivaled their own, for those who developed their own beliefs tended to be persecuted. The scientific revolution started in around the 15th century in response to Reformation, the first major event to challenge the authority of the Church. This opened new paths towards innovation and scientific reasoning. Other major factors that led to the start of the scientific revolution include high wealth among the upper class as a result of colonization. Also, the invention of the printing press, which allowed for new scientific advancements to be spread and exchanged across nations and societies. Major leaders of the scientific revolution include philosophers such as Nicholas Copernicus, who developed his heliocentric theory that the sun is the center of our universe, which in fact rivaled the Church's theory, geocentric, that the Earth is the center of our universe. Other philosophers include people such as Galileo, who developed the fundamental laws of gravity, which we use every day in life. So what is the big deal? What issues were resolved? What lasting effects are a result of this revolution? New medical advancements, such as the discovery of blood circulation within the human body by William Harvey, have led to the increase in health for many nations' populations during this time. It is important to realize that during the medieval times, doctors would rely mainly on their religious ideals to cure their patients. But now, since scientists and doctors have developed their own logical explanations for health matters, they are more effectively able to treat their patients. But most importantly, the scientific revolution was a crucial turning point in history because it changed how we view the world around us. People no longer sought for religious explanations in their daily lives. Because of new deductive reasoning, such as the scientific method, people were better able to formulate logical conclusions and theories about the natural world around them, which in part led to the growth of new innovation and technology for their generations and future ones.
The Industrial Revolution, which occurred from the 18th century to the 19th century. Before the Industrial Revolution, much of the population worked in fields because agriculture was one of the main economic contributors within a nation. As new machines and factories developed, population shifted to cities as new job opportunities emerged. Transportation played a key role in the revolution. New resources came from the colonization. Railways allowed for larger train networks, and steam power allowed industrial and agricultural machines to run faster. This increase in communication between countries made them more economically efficient. Due to the increase in jobs within factories, harsh working conditions and intense child labor developed. Kids were good because they could fit where adults couldn't, and they could be paid less. Labor unions were formed in response to these issues. Building regulations, minimum wage, and laws of child labor were the outcomes of these movements. What are the effects of the Industrial Revolution? Why is this a turning point in history? With the Industrial Revolution, we have further advanced mankind. Some lasting effects include more effective transportation. We might still be using horses if it wasn't for the invention of cars. Another effect was the development of adequate machines and methods such as the assembly line, which led to mass production. This helped spur economies around the world. Another effect was the rise in urban populations. This led to new job opportunities for members of all classes. But in the end, the Industrial Revolution is a turning point because, yet again, mankind has made itself more efficient.
So in conclusion, the agricultural revolution was important because it created a new standard of living by promoting a sedentary lifestyle. This type of living set the basis for the start of civilization, which is at the true core of our species' development. Without the agricultural revolution, mankind would not have been able to develop past its savage nomadic state. The scientific revolution introduced new advancements in medicine, and it promoted the development of new theories and innovations across many scientific fields. It also brought up deductive reasoning and problem solving, displayed through the use of the scientific method, which is widely used in today's society. With this new style of thinking, mankind changed its view of the world around it by favoring more logical scientific conclusions over their religious ideals.
Lastly, the Industrial Revolution brought upon a population shift from agriculture fields to urban cities. There was a rise in the use of machinery. This helped do jobs with less manpower. Also, through the use of labor unions, new working standards such as building regulations and minimum wage were established. These are still prevalent in today's society. Finally, and most importantly, mass production was the catalyst for the growth of nations' economies across the world. So what about the future? We aren't done yet.
Over time, mankind has pushed the limits on what we know and what we can achieve. If human development during these three turning points has any say in what will happen in the future, then it shows our species will continue to progress.